But right now, imagine if we told you you don't have to pay income tax anymore.
I've heard it. You're about to meet a man who swears you don't have to pay Uncle Sam a dime. Well, Fox 5's problem solver John Deuceman is about to let you in on his secret. John, is this for real?
Well, Len, this guy has gotten away with this for more than 10 years. Could it work for you? There are two things certain in life, death and taxes. But how would you like to never have to worry about these tax forms again? Tell the IRS to take a hike. Well, you're about to meet a man who says you don't have to pay income tax ever again, and you can rest in peace while you're still alive.
There is no income tax.
There is no income tax.
No.
Meet Irwin Schiff.
Here's the law. Here's the law.
He's 75 years old and quite a character. He sells books, has a website, and does seminars.
There is no law requiring anybody to pay income taxes.
Teaching you how to avoid paying income taxes. And you're about to learn his most important secret. A secret he claims you can use to beat Uncle Sam every time.
Oh, Irwin, he's a hero.
But before we get to that secret, the problem solvers bring Irwin around town so he can challenge some tax experts. First stop, an undercover trip to an H&R Block.
We'll settle this once and for all.
The challenge is simple. He wants someone to show him a law that says you have to pay income tax.
I'm saying there is no law that says you got to pay income tax.
You gotta do your taxes.
That's what I say.
We still haven't settled this because you still haven't showed me a law that says you got to pay income tax.
If he wants to go and don't pay his taxes, don't follow him.
All right,
If
so
he's going to jump over the bridge, don't jump with him.
The people at H&R Block insist you have to pay your taxes, but they didn't have the law to show us. At our next stop, things get real hairy.
Here's the law. Here's the law.
Please, can I just finish? Just make believe that you have to go to the bathroom. Just
Right.
be quiet.
Okay.
What's going on here? Well, you see, we brought Irwin to the office of one of the top accountants and tax attorneys in town, Bert Padell.
I think he's a jolly man. He should be Santa Claus.
Irwin riled Padell up with a $50,000 bet. Listen.
Now, you show me in this code book where it says persons earning income shall be liable for and shall pay the tax, and you got $50,000. How's that?
Oh, boy.
Well, here's the code book.
No, I
Here's the
understand.
code. This is the law. That's not the law.
That is the law.
No, this is the law, right?
We'll get back to this showdown in a bit. But now it's time to let you in on Schiff's biggest tax trick. It has to do with how you fill out your form, your 1040.
Warning, warning.
Now, I have to warn you that Mr. Schiff went to prison for 4 years once for tax evasion. That was 17 years ago, and he says that he learned a lot from that experience, and now he's perfected a new method that should, and I stress should, keep him out of the can.
And if the IRS don't love it, they can damn well shove it, 'cause Irwin...
For the past 13 years, Schiff says he fills out his tax return with a bunch of zeros. He calls it the zero return and tells his followers to do the same thing.
When I file a return, it's totally honest. I fully report my income when I report it as zero.
Zero return.
How can that be? After all, Schiff makes lots of money selling all his stuff about avoiding the income tax, and you or I would be paying taxes on it. Well, Schiff says it all comes down to the definition of income. He claims, according to a Supreme Court case, as weird as it sounds, only corporations can make income, not people. He attaches his complicated argument to his tax return. How does this guy get away with this? Great question. The IRS doesn't want to talk about it. But the problem solvers have this challenge for the IRS. Either this guy is right and we can all start filling out these zero returns and never pay taxes again, or he's wrong and they should toss him in the can again.
It just doesn't make sense.
Back at the office of big-time tax attorney Bert Padell.
I personally feel that he should be in trouble.
And remember Irwin's $50,000 bet? Well, he doesn't have to pay out, because Padell can't find an exact law that says you have to pay taxes. But Padell has a strong warning.
They should not take his advice. They don't need agita. You know what agita is? Agita means craziness. They don't need craziness in their life.
And uh-oh, looks like Irwin Schiff has a bad case of agita right now. Shortly after the problem solvers challenged the IRS to take a stand on Schiff, his headquarters in Las Vegas was raided by the feds. They took away a bunch of books and records.
But essentially what they're trying to do is scare people into thinking that I've done something wrong, which I haven't.
Now, it looks like Irwin Schiff may be in trouble with the IRS, but they didn't arrest him. He's free, and he says the raid is totally illegal. If you'd like to check out his secrets anyway, his website is www.paynoincometax.com. That's www.paynoincometax.com. Back to you guys.